Hi there. Okay, here we have writing an essay at level C1. Okay, here's the question. You've discovered an interesting blog post. I really believe young people should consider farming as a career because it has so much to offer. Also, don't forget that within the next 20 years, more than half of all the farmers in the United States will be too old to work, and we'll need younger people to do the work. I don't think farming as a career choice gets enough attention. When I was growing up, I was told I could be anything I wanted, a doctor, a lawyer, or even an astronaut. But no one ever mentioned farming. You've decided to comment on this blog post. In your comment, you should explain the attractions of a career in farming, describe how life as a farmer can be hard, argue for professional training for farmers, write about 350 words. And here we have the essay. Okay. In this day and age, more and more young people grow up in big cities where they see that the average citizen and their parents work in an office. Okay, where they see that the average citizen and their parents work in an office. Yeah. Therefore, it is no wonder that old, two words, or we could hyphenate, old-fashioned professions like farming and hunting tend to become unpopular for juveniles. Okay, let's see. Therefore, it is no wonder that old-fashioned professions like farming and hunting I think are tending, or have tended, have, I think, been tending, the tense just reads better, to become unpopular for juveniles. Okay, so nothing wrong with become. Try the verb to grow. To grow adjective. Have been tending to grow unpopular for juveniles. Good, you've looked for another word to say young people. You used young people, you used juveniles. While they see influencers on social media or watch series on Netflix where they see lawyers every day, the film industry almost never promotes the way of living of a farmer. Okay, so it's not wrong, but it doesn't read very smoothly. Okay, while they see influencers on social media, or watch series on Netflix where they see lawyers every day. Okay, so let's take out this they, where lawyers are seen every day. Let's jazz this up a bit. Are seen on a daily basis. So while they see influencers on social media, so let's put the while for where lawyers are seen, where lawyers, okay, Okay, let me so they see influencers. Uh, they see influences. So let's change this C to listen to, because this means follow the advice. They listen to the advice or of influencers on social media, or watch series on Netflix or watch series on Netflix. I might say Netflix series where lawyers are seen on a daily basis. So let's change this scene. Figure. Uh, they listen to influencers on social media or watch Netflix series where lawyers figure on a daily basis, while the film industry almost never promotes the way of living of a farmer. So the way of living of a farmer. Um, let's change this. It's just rather clumsy. Um, to promote the life of a farmer, or even better, never promotes the farming life. That reads better now. In this day and age, more and more young people grow up in big cities where they see that the average citizen and their parents work in an office. Therefore, it's no wonder that old-fashioned professions like farming and hunting have been tending to grow unpopular for juveniles. They listen to influencers on social media or watch Netflix series where lawyers figure on a daily basis, while the farm industry, while the film industry almost never promotes the farming life. As a blog post I've read recently pointed out, plausibly, this is going to be a problem in the near future. I like this word, plausibly. So, as a blog post I've read recently pointed out, I think I just want to change the position of this. This plausibly is going to be a problem in the near future. The reason for that, you don't need the for that, it's just extra. The reason is an ever increasing number of old farmers who will need to retire soon. Therefore, trainees will become decisive to ensure the supply with food. Okay, so we'll need to retire. Therefore, trainees will become trainees. Therefore, recruiting trainees will become a decisive factor in ensuring and here I would use a noun-noun collocation, in ensuring our food supply. Okay, therefore recruiting trainees will become a decisive factor in ensuring our food supply. Okay, so let's add another word here. The ensuring the continuity of our food supply. Although it won't be easy to fix this problem, I am optimistic that it can be solved without excessive effort. Good. First, I would suggest to launch a huge advertising campaign to promote the profession. So, notice, suggest, this is one word that you can't use with an infinitive structure. Okay, you could say, suggest noun. I would suggest the launching of. Okay, I would suggest that a huge advertising campaign be launched. Okay, so suggest that plus a present subjunctive. Okay, I suggest that something be done. Okay, you could say is done as well. So be careful with suggest. The one thing it can't take, suggest doesn't take an infinitive. The easiest way is I suggest launching. First, I would suggest launching a huge advertising campaign to promote the profession. Yeah. All the advantages that come with being a farmer should be contained in there. Contained in there. Should be contained in there. Should be clearly shown. For example, a farmer enjoys some sort of freedom. He has got no boss who tells them what to do. Okay. So, for example, a farmer enjoys some sort of freedom. He's got no boss who... So, firstly, they have got no boss. I'm going to take out the got, but it's okay. So, they have no boss who tells them what to do. They enjoy the farmer. For example, a farmer enjoys some sort of freedom. They have no boss who tells them what to do. I'd like to join these two sentences, but I can't do it with a comma because that would be a comma splice. I would put here, I think personally, a semicolon. For example, a farmer enjoys some sort of freedom. And then as we've got they, let's make this plural. For example, farmers enjoy some sort of freedom. They have no boss who tells them what to do. Yeah, who tells them what to do. That would work. I might say no boss to tell them what to do. I'm going to change it. To tell them what to do. Okay, so although it won't be easy to fix this problem, I am optimistic that it can be solved without excessive effort. First, I would suggest launching a huge advertising campaign to promote the profession. All the advantages that come with being a farmer should be clearly shown. For example, farmers enjoy some sort of freedom. They have no boss to tell them what to do. Another positive aspect of farming is the fact that one who works in the field is outside in nature all the time. That one who works in the field. So, that one who works in the field. Okay, another positive aspect of farming is the fact that, instead of this one who, that working in so another positive aspect of farming is the fact that working in the field so is outside, yeah, means one is outside in nature all the time. So the with nature, no. Outside in nature all the time. Okay. On the other hand, a farmer acts on his own account, which means that if, for example, bad weather jeopardizes his harvest, he is on his own to deal with that problem. On the other hand, a farmer is on his own account. Acts on his own account. On the other hand, a farmer is solely responsible for his actions, or for his business, comma, which means that if, for example, bad weather jeopardizes his harvest, he's on his own to deal with the problem. This is a massive downside of the profession. I like this word downside, and could discourage young people from taking up the occupation. Therefore, I absolutely suggest to establish, suggest to, you can't do it. I suggest establishing a fund for young farmers. To compensate potential losses. I absolutely suggest, absolutely, I like the use of an adverb, but absolutely, I strongly suggest establishing the establishment of, I strongly suggest establishing a fund, especially for young farmers. Okay, a fund, comma, especially for young farmers, to compensate. I think which will compensate any potential losses. Another thing which needs to be realized is a good training program for people who show interest in farming. Okay, we could use realized here, but it doesn't sound very good. Another thing, so let's add something interesting here. Another vital, finally, thing which needs to be realized, which needs to be implemented, is a good training for young people who show interest. I think in would sound better. Another vital thing which needs to be implemented is a good training program for young people who show interest in farming. In my research for already existing training courses, I came across multiple ones who are only offered in the countryside. So, in my research into already existing training courses, so this is probably okay, but it reads better. It will read better. In my research into training courses that already exist, comma, I came across multiple possibilities. Multiple training, multiple multiple potential courses that already exist. I came across so let's try this. I came across a multitude of possibilities, but a multitude of possibilities, but these are only offered in the countryside. It is understandable that at one point, let's say it is understandable that at some point of the training, in their training, people actually need to be out on the field. So it is understandable that at some point in their training, people actually need to be out in the field. Okay, but especially. So let's join. Let's put this especially somewhere different. So, but okay, they need to be out on the field, comma. But at the beginning of their training, there should be ways to participate in farming training at facilities within larger cities. But at the beginning of the training, there should be ways to participate in farming training, in farming training. Yeah, in farming courses at facilities within larger cities. Okay, so well done. Let's see. What would I say? I think one of your problems is you express things and they're understandable, but they're not very neat. They're not very natural. And I think that's something that comes with practice. What you've written is very understandable and very clear. You've answered the question very, very well. I think maybe you also need to try to pep up, to give a little bit more interest to things. I think more adjectives. I've noticed several adverbs which I quite liked. And try and find some interesting farming vocabulary to go into this as well. I think maybe you could have said maybe something about, I don't know, arable farming or husbandry, or it just needs one or two really interesting pieces of vocabulary to bring it alive. Let's see, at level C1, I think I'm going to give it something like a 5.75. So it's certainly a pass at CAE, but there certainly is also room for improvement. So, thank you very much. Bye bye.